are having experiences
just everyday people.
Yeah. Yesterday we had a friend come over. His wife is off to the tropics with her son. He's kind of like, hey, I need something to do. I'm going to go get some water. He's a retired coal miner, rough, rugged, tough guy. And he went to the doctors, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago, with this intense pain, just kind of everywhere, but especially in his lower back. And
he was in a lot of pain. Yeah.
Well, being a retired coal miner, he's got really good pension and health care, and so, it doesn't cost him anything, and he's into the Western medicine model, and they tell him that he's got these stone deposits in his urinary, in his kidneys, and they don't really have much of a solution for that in the Western medicine model. They're pretty much their basis is to send some kind of wave of energy. My wife says it's a laser. I don't even want to learn about this stuff because it's so barbaric to me. Mother Nature provided a way for us to dissolve all that buildup in our kidneys out when we come to the understanding of the error of our ways and begin taking the teas, the herbal teas that are so wonderful. Anyway, this guy's kind of he's been changing this and changing that. He makes kombucha tea for, I don't know, probably dozens of people.
Well, he does all the cooking and preparing of the food.
Preparation, yeah.
And so he's really done a lot of organic now.
Yeah, and he's watched his wife go from a death sentence with the Western medicine model. She'd had this cancer cut out twice before, and it grew back a third time, and they said they can't cut it out anymore. It's an organ that they could cut, and the organ would grow back. He's lonely. She's in the tropics. He's here. I need something to do. Can I go get water? And we didn't need water, but
we all giggled. Yeah, you can go get
water. But I said, sure, come over.
We understand. You got to.
Because last week I wanted to ask him. I'm getting to the point here, folks. He came to me about 2 months ago, and he said, Kevin, I want to take that kidney tea you've put together. And I said, oh, well, and that's when he told me. And I said, well, here's the section in the book, because they have a book in their home that you need to study up on with the kidney anatomy. It's real simple to understand. It's infinitely complex, but we don't have to know that. All we have to know is this is what we're drinking, and this is the response in the body, and this is what's going to happen. He does one, and then does another one back to back. And these are, one's a pretty mild tea. The other one's got a lot of astringent in it, which is kind of like a hot type of thing. It's got a lot of ginger in it. But
I like it.
I just gulp them down, and you can add a little bit of cherry concentrate to soften it if you need to, but the body adapts. It develops an appetite for it, and that's what it's done for me over the years. It just
for myself,
because our kidneys are going to need ongoing help because the second genesis of life that's going to start driving out the cancer, driving out the heart disease, driving out the diabetes. New flesh is going to need to be formed, and so as all of that is falling away from us, our liver and our kidneys regulate our blood all the time, and a lot of this stuff is going to be going out through our bloodstreams. A lot of it's going to come out through our skin, a lot of it's going to come out through our bowels, a lot of it's going to come out through our urine, but if it's coming out through the urine, it's being regulated by the kidneys. Kidneys are not filters. They regulate everything in the bloodstream, and that's important, and it's very simple to understand. It's in our curriculum. So, I wanted to talk to him last week because I knew he'd done a couple of these. Well, I found out yesterday he's done 3 of them.
Right.
And so I'm asking him all these questions at our dinner table.
Isn't he? He
this
likes
is
sharing.
This is a guy that 3 months ago was in a tremendous amount of pain. He had this furrowed brow and this stern look on his face all the time. It makes us short-tempered when we're in pain like that, and he's not one to be taking a bunch of pain anything.
And he's not short-tempered. Yeah.
You know, he likes to...
He's kind.
Yeah, his nature is, oh my goodness, such a teddy bear for being a coal miner, for heaven's sakes.
He's amazing.
When he came by yesterday, 3 kidney stone dissolving regimens.
Which we didn't know.
And, well, nobody knows that this is possible, right?
Right.
Well, he knew about this 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. It took him to get to this crisis where Western medicine
which usually happens to all of us.
Is telling him
when we're the cause.
Is telling him this is all we can do. So he goes through the procedure and has it done. Doesn't take away his pain. You know,
he's in pain still.
He waits in tension for one of these pieces that have been broken up now to start ripping, down his urinary lining.
Well, I had that happen years ago.
And you've heard the horror stories of people passing kidney stones. I mean, I've had women say that it was more painful passing kidney stones
I'm one of those women.
Than it was to give childbirth.
Back in the 80s,
You know, so we're talking about a protocol that we have in our curriculum that's very, very powerful, and nobody knows about it. Likewise, he knew about it for 6 years, and in his defiance, would not do it. Oh, I'm okay. Well, I'm okay. Well, we heard that for a lot of years.
We just don't know. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had to open up to a new way to be transformed by this. We don't sit there and have a conversation of trying to convince people of things like, what we're sharing with you on this show. I don't care whether you believe it or not. I don't care if you change your life. I love America. I love mankind. But we love you.
I also know that a person has to address this stuff inside themselves, because no matter what we're eating, everything we offer in the way of a meal is a sacred thing. All right? That's really important to understand. It's a form of worship.
Everyone's enjoying
this guy, as he's sharing his story, he's laughing. He's got this huge smile on his face. He's got this thick mustache. His eyes are squinting constantly because he's got this grin on his face. And it's like, I've never seen him walk with so much life in his step now.
Right.
When he brought the water back.
Me too.
He's carrying.
I agree.
He's carrying both 40-pound bottles of water. And
there's no tomorrow.
For me, I wanted to get his feedback. I wanted to get his feedback because I wanted to be able to share it on a radio show. I don't know that he wants to really do that, but likewise, it's very nurturing to me to see somebody's relief from pain with this truth whose time has come. A truth whose time has come. It's like I didn't invent this stuff. It just exists. I can't patent it. I can copyright the books. I can even trademark our architectural plans for America's Medicine Wheels, which I have done. I did that clear back in 1999. But this is not a truth that you can patent. This is not a truth that you can really do anything but sell in the marketplace like everybody else. Plus, you can grow it in your own yard if you want. But there's lots of growers now. In Oregon, there's some really good herbal farms sprouting up because the demand for this is just getting bigger.
And we are the ones making a difference when we wake up and we begin to demand this and declare this for ourselves in America. That's where the change is happening. It's right here, right now. It's you and me. Wake up.
There's nothing holding us back. There's more organic being grown than ever before, and it's just going to get better and better. And that cleans up the environment. That's going to clean up the waterways. That's going to clean up the air more profoundly than ever changing from fossil fuel cars. It's at our diet.
That's another show. I'm with Adam T. Gardner, and this is Deborah. Dream Vision 7 Radio.
Join us next time as the second Genesis awakening unfolds further mysteries into how our lives can be transformed through ancient insights and modern understandings of how the universe works upon us and within us.
Now remember, the show broadcasts every Monday on DreamVision7Radio.com at 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, you can catch me on my website anytime. Call in allangels.com. I've written a number of songs and they're available for download on my website. That's callinallangels.com.
The Second Genesis Awakening has been a production of the humanaccelerator.org, your we community, working to build America's medicine wheels.